Y'all, it is not that serious for you to get it. You talk about making your case worse. How is that gonna make it better?
Man, I do not know. I don't.
Y'all, this is the reason why Mr. Ballin say, please be careful who you interact with. Because you don't know who you could be interacting with.
Yep.
Y'all, please download apps to let you know which people that you need to know who's in your neighborhood that are predators, serial killers. You need to know. It's good to your job, man. Yo. What's up with y'all, man? Yo, this is Reef'Lik.
And this is Leaky
And
Leak.
this is Reef'Lik, Anime Horror Gang. What's good with y'all? Got another video.
Tonight we're going to be reacting to Mr. Ballin'.
Yo, man, shout out to Mr. Ballin', man. You already know, man. Yo, Mr. Ballin', you the GOAT, my G. Yo, we love your videos so much over here, Brody. Yo, please show Mr. Ballin' some love, man. Love and support over there as well, man. You already know.
So please like, comment, subscribe, and join our big happy family.
Yes, join the family, Anime Horror Gang. Once you join the family, you're a supreme god. You're a loser. You're a supreme loser. You already know, y'all. Y'all, we're almost close to 500 subscribers, y'all. Yo, that is really big for us. That's a big milestone for us. Yo, our family's growing bigger and bigger every week, y'all. Yo, please show us some love and support over here, y'all. Yo, we supreme losers over here. We ain't no renegade weirdos over here.
Nope.
We don't accept those over here.
Nope, not
you
at
already know this the nerdy life over here. We're family for life over here, y'all. Y'all, we love y'all so much, man. Let's get to 500 subscribers, man. So please sit back, relax, and let's begin. Alright, King, let's get it. Yo, we got another Mr. Ballin' joint. We haven't reacted to him in a minute.
Yeah, it's been so long.
Yeah, y'all. So we're going to definitely catch up with his videos and stuff. The DeVil. This one is called "The Devil Doesn't Take Holidays." I wonder what that mean. Because I thought Christmas was like a good holiday.
I think it's trying to say like the devil doesn't take holidays off or any of that. I think that's basically what he's
like, man, the devil is always lurking, y'all. Just be cautious. You already know. I mean, y'all, we don't celebrate regular New Year's on this channel. We celebrate Japanese New Year's on this channel. But the New Year's is literally tomorrow. And everybody's going out tonight. So, y'all, please be careful out there because this video is literally a message to people who's going out. The devil do not care about holidays. Nope. The devil is always lurking. You could be out there having fun on Christmas. No, on Thanksgiving night going to Black Friday and some bad stuff will happen. Yeah. Trust me. Like, you don't know who you could bump somebody wrong. You could stare at somebody wrong. Or if you got beef, if you ain't feeling nobody, somebody could literally walk up to you and just start something. Y'all, please be cautious about your surroundings. Please always watch your surroundings and always do what you gotta do, and please be safe and just have fun. Don't try to go out there starting nobody or nothing. So yeah, y'all, we don't want to keep y'all up, man. Please enjoy y'all holidays and stuff. You already know. So we about to start this, y'all. Please show Mr. Ballin' some love, y'all. We love y'all so much, man. Anime Horror Gang. We almost at 500 subscribers, y'all. You already know. Let's get it.
Today's Christmas-themed story is a stark reminder that there are truly dangerous and unstable people who walk among us.
True.
Yeah,
true.
To that story, if you're a fan,
he is not lying.
There's no doubt about it.
Story format, then you come to the right place because that's all we do.
Y'all, you know what's so crazy? He is not lying right there. Like, you could literally be walking by a serial killer. You could be walking by somebody that does the R word. You could walk by somebody that just committed a crime. Yeah. And you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know.
That's how dangerous it is.
Y'all, I be telling people this. I know I'm like 6'4", but I be preaching to people like, y'all, it doesn't matter how big I am. I met somebody that could take down a small person. Like, for real. Yeah. Like, man. Like, don't ever judge a book by its cover. Please don't judge a book by its cover. Because, man, that joint be crazy.
We upload once a week. So, if that's of interest to you, please invite the like button to go fishing with you. But when you're out of the water and the like button asks you, what are we using for bait? Say nothing and just stick your hook into the like button and cast them out into the water.
Oh my God, Mr.
All notifications.
Where'd he get them?
Okay.
Man.
Well, let's get it. The snowball effect. The butterfly effect.
December 20th, 2022, a young woman...
This was recent?
Along with her boyfriend, whose name was Lee Ki-young, sat at a table at a Korean barbecue restaurant in northern Seoul, which is the capital city of South Korea. The couple didn't even have any food.
I want to go there too.
Moon was not even looking at the menu. Instead, she was excitedly checking her watch, waiting for her parents to arrive. This dinner was a very special occasion for Moon because she had been dating Lee for several months now.
Okay.
She was totally in love with him, but she had not introduced him to her parents yet.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He surprised her with reservations to this restaurant tonight for 4 people. He had invited her parents to come to the dinner so they could all finally meet. Moon looked across the table at Lee and she smiled because she knew as soon as her parents saw this...
Ooh, that'd be the most hardest thing in the world, y'all.
32-year-old Army veteran with lots of crazy stories from his time in the military. He was also exceptionally good.
Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I do want to date a Japanese girl. I do. And I'm probably marry one, but the tough thing about it is I really be hearing this. I hope, like, when I meet their parents, I hope they don't expect their expectations to be high of me. Because they want, like, I know all families ain't like that, but you know, if you have that one girl and her family's like strict on you being this upper class man, it's like, it's really going to be hard for me to date you because your parents expect me to have a high expectation. It's like, I'm not dating them, I'm dating you. Why can't you accept me for me? And I could work hard to get to that spot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, just don't judge a book by its cover. Even though somebody don't have it now, they can have it later.
Yep.
So I always look at relationships like that.
Good looking. He was very well educated. And he came from a family that was extremely successful and very wealthy. Lee's grandfather owned the high-rise building that Lee was staying in. I mean, this was very...
She already said.
But Lee was not full of himself. He was very humble. He was kind.
You picked the right one.
That's good.
For little animals. He had adopted a dog and 3 cats and adored them. I mean, this was a guy who was kind of like the total package that any parent would be psyched that their daughter was dating. After Moon and Lee had been sitting at this table for about 15 minutes, Moon looked up and she saw her parents finally coming in the door. And so Moon, she stood up and she waved to her parents and flagged them over to the table. And so they came over, they said hi to Lee. And right away, Lee, he picked up the menu and he ordered all these very expensive drinks and all the expensive meats on the menu. And then before long, Lee was chatting with Moon's father.
I want to try that when we go to Japan. Like the little grills, you put the stuff on the grill and then you pick it up and eat it. I want to try that.
And Moon, she was just sitting back, enjoying watching this because she could see from her parents' facial expressions that they seemed to really like Lee too. And so this night was going as good as it could have. Moon and Lee and Moon's parents stayed at this restaurant for at least 2 hours just enjoying each other's company.
Well, it do take that long to be in there. See, I want to try that.
By the end of the night,
that looks so... I want to try that. That's like...
look good, though.
That's some Naruto type of stuff in Dragon Ball. I want to try that.
To the parents. It was like really they had hit it off. But after Moon's parents were gone, Moon and Lee, they left the restaurant too, and they began walking across the street towards the parking garage where Lee had parked. And right away, Moon could tell Lee was actually pretty drunk. She had not noticed it in the restaurant, but now she could see Lee was kind of stumbling a little bit. But Moon wasn't upset about this. If anything, she just thought, wow, he was so composed talking to my parents in there, despite...
It do be like that. You're so in the middle of talking, having a good conversation, you don't realize how much you're drinking.
Boyfriend, Moon didn't want Lee to drive them home.
Yeah.
It would be really unsafe to do because, again, obviously...
Y'all, please don't drive drunk. Please don't.
Moon made it to Lee's car. Moon kind of gently told Lee, hey, why don't we leave your car here and just call a taxi? And they
That's good.
Home safely. But when she said this, Lee took it as if Moon was criticizing him for being too drunk. And he felt really offended because in his mind, he had just put on this great date and made this great first impression on Moon's parents, and here she is kind of nagging him. And so Lee just kind of blew his lid, and the couple got in this horrible yelling fight in the parking garage, which ended with Lee telling Moon that their relationship was now over, and then Lee turned around and stormed off to hail a cab by himself.
What just happened?
Bro, okay, wait a minute. Whoa.
What just happened, though?
Okay, so this can't be her fault. Because, bro, you drunk, She's trying to make sure both of y'all get home safe. And then on top of it, y'all did all this arguing and screaming. And then at the end of it, you went and took a cab.
Man, that's just strange right there, man.
Make that make sense. What was the point of arguing? And at the end, you still took a cab.
That really don't make no sense. Now that you mention it, that really don't make no sense.
Y'all could have just, like, I understand you're drunk, bro, but, bro, to learn how to handle your liquor.
But literally, what just happened, though?
Like, y'all just got into a whole heated argument, and then you left, and then still took, that's what she was trying to tell you to do in the first place.
I think the point of it was, like, you had such a good time, and then this...
Then why you... I feel like we had so much of a good time. Why ruin the night?
Man.
Why ruin the night?
That's just,
Fellas, don't do that. You could have went home and...
That's wild, man.
You could have went home and got the... You could have got the fortune cookie that night. That's what I'm going to have to say. You could have got the fortune cookie that night, homie. Homie, you could have got the fortune cookie!
What can you do, man? What can you do?
Oh...
It's gone. Moon just stood there next to Lee's car, being totally shocked at what had just
Oh, nah,
happened.
she's cute.
And then, kind of in a daze, she went and hailed a cab herself and went home. And then she just laid in bed and cried until she went to sleep.
Oh...
Moon was not heartbroken for long, because the next morning, when Moon woke up, she heard a knock on the front door, and when she opened it up, there was a delivery guy with this huge, beautiful bouquet of roses.
Oh!
Moon took these roses and quickly found a card attached to the roses. She opened it up, and there was a letter from Lee saying, please accept these roses as a...
Okay, now wait a minute. Don't be so gullible to that.
Really sorry.
I'm sorry, bro, but you know how... No, wait a minute. I gotta say something about that. I'm gonna stop pausing it, y'all. But, bruh, you know how many females we dealt with. Mm-hmm. They is not going to accept that as an apology. You're going to come over to the house, and we're going to sit there and talk about it, and we're going to have probably another argument off of that. If you accept those flowers, knowing that y'all went through that,
I feel like there's some sort of a catch to this. That's why I'm feeling.
No, don't accept those. Tell them to come over and we can talk.
Man, it's a catch. A part of me is starting to sense that now.
I'm not trying to, ain't no black woman I knew is going to accept that like that. You're going to sit there and talk about it with me on the phone or either in person.
I get, but here is different though. It's different, so you can't.
Yeah, their cultures is different. I can understand that. The cultures is different.
But they were back together. That night, they went out for a fancy dinner together, and then also Lee had booked a very fancy hotel room that night for them to stay in. And this is really how their relationship went for the next couple of days. Basically, Lee would take Moon out shopping anywhere she wanted to go. They went to all the best restaurants, they stayed at the best hotels. To Moon, it was obvious that Lee was really just continuing to shower her with gifts.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
To still try to make up for that big fight.
Just sit down and talk, and you don't even have to do all that.
And at some point, after several days of being treated like a princess by Lee, Moon finally told Lee, "Stop buying me stuff, it's fine, I totally forgive you, everything is good." But Lee insisted that he be allowed to continue to spoil her. After all, it was the Christmas season, and she deserved to be spoiled around Christmas.
But still.
In South Korea, Christmas is celebrated a bit differently than it is in Western countries like America.
Like
in
what?
South Korea, Christmas is a big holiday, but it's really just a holiday for couples. It's not really a family occasion. So in South Korea,
that's different.
Lots of couples.
That's different.
Fancy dates, and so that's kind of how they.
We learn something every day.
Whereas in Western countries like America, it's all about family and waking up.
So in Korea, they celebrate as a relationship like Valentine's Day. That is lit.
Okay.
And in South Korea, it's very couple-centric. It's kind of like Valentine's Day in the winter.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve, Lee told Moon that he had a very special dinner planned for Christmas, and would Moon mind?
Somewhere in the back of my head,
homie's weird. I'm sorry though.
Somewhere in the back of my head, like I'm a little unsure about that.
In preparation for this big Christmas dinner, and of course, Moon said she would. So at around 11 a.m. on Christmas Day, Moon hopped off the elevator inside of Lee's apartment building and began walking down the hall towards his door, carrying the key to his door. But as Moon walked closer and closer to Lee's door, she began smelling this really powerful smell. It smelled like roses. And for a second, Moon thought to herself, oh my goodness, this whole thing was a setup. I'm not here to feed his pets. I'm here because he must have planned some really elaborate thing for Christmas Day for right now. And probably it has to do with lots of roses inside of his apartment. And so Moon was really excited by the time she got out front of Lee's apartment door. But before she used her key to open it up and just go in, she decided she would just call out for Lee, because she figured at this point, he's got to be in there. He knows I'm about to be surprised by this big thing. And so she calls out for Lee, but there's no answer. And so she knocks a couple of times to see if maybe she can get Lee to come to the door, but after knocking several times, there was no answer. So eventually, Moon used her key, she opened up the door, she swung it open, and she stepped inside of Lee's apartment, expecting to be wowed by whatever Lee had planned. But instead, when she looked around, she couldn't really understand what she was even seeing. Lee was nowhere to be found, but there were roses all over the apartment. However, these were not new roses. These were like several days old. Many of them were wilted, and the leaves were starting to fall off, and the water that
that's
the roses
weird.
were sitting in was very dirty. But really,
That's
there were
odd.
pieces of roses everywhere on every surface. And right away, Moon started to feel really uneasy. It was like very creepy to be in this dark apartment where no one's inside of, with just these weird flowers everywhere. And so without going any further into the apartment,
I would just
Moon
left.
once again
I would
called
just
out
left.
for Lee in hopes that maybe he was here, but again, he didn't come out of any of the rooms, so she knows she's alone. And so she called Lee on his phone to try to get an explanation for what she was looking at. But Lee didn't answer his phone. By this point, Lee's 3 cats were circling around Moon's legs because they were eager to be fed, and so Moon kind of stopped thinking about this strange flower situation and looked over at the cats' bowls and saw there was no dry food. They had eaten all of their food. And so Moon began walking over to the bowls when she realized Lee had not told her where he kept the cat food, and so she had no idea where it was. So Moon began opening all the kitchen cabinets, hoping to find this cat food somewhere, but she didn't, and so eventually she left the kitchen and she walked down this hallway inside of the apartment, and she found there was a skinny closet in the hallway that looked like a place where you would store cleaning supplies and vacuums and that sort of thing. So she reached down and tried to open it. But she was able to turn the doorknob, but there was something inside of this closet that was making it really hard to open, like it was stuck on something. Now, again, Moon is kind of looking around this dark, dingy apartment that's filled with all these wilted roses, and she's feeling super uneasy, but she thought, I just want to feed these cats and just get out of here. And so Moon just grabbed that door handle and yanked as hard as she could, and she managed to pop it open. And for a second, Moon just stared at the inside of the closet, having no idea what she was even looking at. And then she started to scream.
Gosh.
One of the most terrifying places in the entire world is a place called Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. There have been so many unexplained occurrences on this property that government agencies have been sent to this ranch to basically do an investigation, and a lot of what they found is classified. I actually covered the Skinwalker Ranch story early on in my YouTube career, but the reason I covered it is because I watched another video, which was way better than mine, about Skinwalker Ranch, and it was by my favorite YouTube channel by far back then and still today, and that is, of course, Bedtime Stories. Their coverage of Skinwalker Ranch is terrifying.
Bedtime Stories?
Things outside the door of this house, and they're tapping on the walls.
That's
it's
new.
like the most
That might be another channel we could check up on.
And if you don't know this by now, we, Ballin Studios, were lucky enough to secure Bedtime Stories on our roster, and they now produce a weekly podcast where new episodes come out every single Wednesday. But this week, to celebrate Christmas, they're going to be releasing 3 new episodes, and they are all about
I found them.
Skinwalker Ranch. Also, stick around till the end of this video because we're going to play a sneak peek from one of those 3 episodes.
All right.
What happened?
I got him. I know, bro. Let me get you. Dude. Let me get a chance. Alright, I found it, so we could ask them for permission to see if we could react to some of their stuff.
Okay.
Which they probably won't let us, but it is what it is. Yeah, y'all, let's get right back into it. If she found homie's body in there,
That's what I'm thinking.
It would turn out virtually everything Moon thought she knew about Lee, her boyfriend, was wrong. 5 days earlier, after Moon and Lee had gotten into that horrible fight in the parking garage following the dinner with Moon's parents, Lee had made it seem like he was storming off to go hail a cab and drive home on his own. But in reality, after he stormed off, he waited for Moon to walk away and get a cab on her own, and then Lee just walked right back over to where he had parked his car in the parking garage. He got inside, turned it on, and began driving home. But on his drive home, he actually crashed into a taxi driver. Now, neither Lee nor the taxi driver were harmed in this accident, and both cars were still drivable. But Lee actually had a really big problem with drinking and driving. 9 years earlier, in 2013, when Lee was serving in the military, he was put in military prison for drunk driving. And then after he got out of the military, he was arrested 2 more times for drunk driving.
Y'all, please don't drink and drive, y'all.
And so even
please call an Uber or a taxi. Don't do it, y'all.
Lee did not want to go to police and report this accident because if officials got involved, they would see that Lee has this horrible history of driving, and he would get in way more trouble. And so Lee convinced the taxi driver to just allow him to pay him privately for the damages in order to avoid getting officials involved. However, the taxi driver, who was open to this, demanded that Lee pay him in cash. He didn't want some sort of deferred payment plan. He wanted to be paid now. And so Lee said, okay, well then let's go to my apartment and I'll just pay you there. However, when the taxi driver and Lee got to Lee's apartment, they got in a fight over how much money Lee actually needed to pay the taxi driver for the damages. And eventually, Lee just kind of snapped and beat the taxi driver to death, and then stuffed
That do not make no sense, man. Dude, that do not make no sense.
Leak.
I know, man. I know.
Yo.
That do not make no sense.
Y'all.
That do not make
Y'all. It is not that serious for you to get it. You talk about making your case worse. How is that gonna make it better?
Man, I do not know. I don't.
Y'all, this is the reason why Mr. Ballin say, please be careful who you interact with. Because you don't know who you could be interacting with.
Yep.
Y'all, please download apps to let you know which people that you need to know who's in your neighborhood that are predators, serial killers. You need to know.
Yeah.
It don't matter where you at. Nowhere is safe.
Nope.
Don't walk out here every day thinking you're going to make it back home. Make sure when you go outside, make sure you know, like, okay, you got to be aware of your surroundings. I can't have, like, I'm so worried, y'all. I'm so paranoid, y'all. I don't like when I be in a supermarket and someone just be, like, right there next to me on the counter and I'm looking at the counter and I'm grabbing something and he's, like, right here, right now. I could feel your presence. I'm so aware, y'all, that I could feel somebody's presence like a couple of aisles over. Yeah, if y'all can't feel nothing like that, I'm a god. I know. I'm just saying. How don't you feel like rest in peace to the taxi guy. Rest in peace to him. But that's just weird to me. I'm not about to go into your apartment. I'm gonna stand at least outside the door.
Yeah, it's like dangerous, man. Don't you think?
You can't go back to nobody's house, y'all. I really stopped this when I was a teenager, y'all. Dead serious. I went to this girl's house. Boom. I got what I got. I got the cookies. I got the fortune cookie. Then when I walked, me and her was trying to leave the house. Her mom just literally walked by. I told her, yo, I thought this was your place. She was older than me. I was like, I thought this was your place. then she was like, is this my place? I'm like, well, how come all your family's here? So I'm starting to understand, like, oh, this shorty just lied. So I looked at her, and I'm like, yo, like, you for real? And I was like, yo, if I see her dad, yo, I don't know how this man is going to react with a big 6'2" guy coming out his house.
Man, like, that's nuts.
And yo, I wasn't wearing the nerd god mask at the time, so you could have seen my face. Bruh, I walked outside that house. The man literally seen me. He was like, yo, who the f is you? And I was looking like, oh my God. I'm literally getting pressed by her dad. But y'all, that's a story for another time. But back to this topic, y'all. Just be aware, y'all. If you let somebody talk long enough, you know how somebody is.
Yeah.
Or if you see them while they're drunk, you know how they is. Or if you heard things about them, or they just too quiet, you guys expect something.
Yeah.
You can't just be thinking everybody's just kind out here. Please stereotype people. Please stereotype people. If you don't stereotype people, how is you going? You can't just be walking around thinking everything is okay, and it's not.
Nope.
You gotta stereotype people. I do that every day. I do that every day.
Shoot, that's just, man.
Yo, so he really bodied for some money, bro?
And all because of the accident he caused?
And bro, how is that gonna make it better? You're so focused on trying not to get caught. You're definitely gonna get caught now.
Yep. That's
why he was throwing gifts at her. So he'll feel not guilty for what he did. Shoo.
His body
Shoo.
inside of that cleaning closet in his apartment's hallway. And so that's what Moon had seen when she had opened up the closet. She saw the corpse of the taxi driver. And then after Lee had murdered the taxi driver, he stole the taxi driver's credit cards and his cell phone, and Lee would use the taxi driver's credit card to pay for all those lavish dinners and hotel stays and gifts over the next
man. Wow. Dude.
And also during that time, Lee was using the taxi driver's cell phone to send messages to the taxi driver's family to convince them that he was still alive. Also,
so
he went out and bought a whole bunch of bouquets of roses and put them all over his apartment to try to mask the smell of the rotting corpse inside of his closet. But this murder and Lee's horrible drunk driving were not his only secrets. Lee claimed he was from this very wealthy, successful family that owned all these amazing high-rises in South Korea.
Oh, that's a lie too?
That was all a big lie. Lee was not from a very successful family. He did not have any money. He basically just borrowed money from family and friends and then lied about how he acquired.
Oh, you're a loser then!
Successful wealthy.
Yeah.
You're a loser!
Police in South Korea.
You're a loser!
Yeah.
You're a loser! Y'all, I feel like date somebody that knows how you're. Dude, don't date in your budget. If a girl really truly loves you and cares about you, she don't care about how much money you got.
Nope.
Y'all, there was a video with a girl sleeping in the hallway with her boyfriend because he got kicked out and stuff like that. People was laughing. I looked at that like she's a keeper. Because if she staying with me while I'm struggling, I'm going to keep her while I'm up. Bruh, it don't matter. Make sure you find somebody that loves you for you and not material things. Even she was saying, you don't have to buy me all these things. I'm good. I'm good. So you telling me you killed him, you borrow money from people. Bro, you need to reevaluate your life, bro. Now you're on the run for a murder.
It's too late for that now, man.
Now you're on the run for a murder. Bro, you should have been oh, come on. And you got a drinking problem on top of it? Y'all, if y'all spend a lot of time with somebody, you can see their true colors after a while.
Yeah.
Don't get married to somebody too quick. Don't. I'm warning y'all, don't. It's okay to take a couple of years to see how somebody is, or a couple of months. Don't marry somebody off the lip, all that, first love, love at first sight type of no. No. Take your time to know somebody. Their true colors going to show, and that persona is going to fade away quick.
Yeah.
Because someone can fake how they act. You just got to stay with them long enough to really see it.
Most definitely.
For real. If they can keep that persona up, they're a fucking psychopath. I'm just telling you that. They're a psychopath.
And investigating the taxi driver's murder, they discovered that Lee's apartment was not even his. It belonged to his ex-girlfriend, who was a bartender in South Korea who was in her 50s. Also,
What?
his beloved 3 cats and dog that he talked about all the
So you're dating a cougar too?
cared for them. Well, those weren't his either.
Well, actually,
Those were his
ex-girlfriend, man.
As police,
She's young. He's young. So that was a cougar.
That's crazy, man.
So your life sucks, bro. Your life sucks, bro. There ain't nothing wrong with building yourself up for the next couple of years. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather be in the position that I am now than what he is. I'm just being honest. You're borrowing money for everybody. That's not no good look. But like, man.
That's crazy.
Investigation into the murder of this taxi driver, they would eventually
There's nothing wrong with getting a job.
of Lee's ex-girlfriend's blood inside of Lee's apartment, so his ex-girlfriend's apartment. And they would discover that Lee had murdered his ex-girlfriend, stolen her apartment, stolen her pets, and even took her cell phone. And to this day, had been sending messages to her family to try to convince them that she was alive.
Oh, he's a demon. Oh, he's a demon.
No idea what was going on.
He's a demon.
Ultimately arrested.
I take back everything, though.
And he would quickly admit that he did kill the taxi driver and his ex-girlfriend. However, by this point, police had located the cell phone of a missing woman amongst Lee's things, and so they became very suspicious that he might have had something to do with this third woman's disappearance. However, to this day, Lee has denied having anything to do with this missing woman, and they still have no idea what happened to her, and so that case is kind of on hold. Despite how totally crazy this whole story sounds, the craziest part actually happened after Lee was arrested.
Oh, what happened?
That's what I want, man.
Once Lee's crimes were being talked about all over the news, Lee became totally famous in South Korea because he was exceptionally good looking. On the news, they would play CCTV footage of Lee interacting.
Whoa, okay. I lost hope for everybody. I lost hope for this future.
I mean,
Y'all not even looking at the fucking fact that he just killed these people. Y'all looking at the fact that he's fucking hot?
I'm just speechless.
Make that make sense!
Speechless. It's like, think about it, they say the same thing about guys like Ted Bundy, man.
Dude, if you're looking at a serial killer like he's out, you're fucking weird! A weirdo! A renegade weirdo, you're fucking weird!
They said the same thing about, what you call it, Ted Bundy, who else?
Richard Ramirez?
Yeah.
Even the ones that came up over the years that did stuff. Y'all fucking weird. Stay away from us. Please stay away from us. If you're looking at idolizing that like he's handsome or making... You're weird.
Yep, he's like, man, I'm just speechless at this point.
You're
like,
fucking weird. Y'all weird. I want to get this done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking weird.
South Korea.
That is weird.
This guy is so unbelievably attractive. He looks like an actor, not here's a guy who's about to murder someone. In fact, Lee became so popular in South Korea for being so beautiful that there became a real fear that Lee's ex-girlfriend, Moon, would become a target in some way. That maybe Lee's fans would blame her for putting their beloved Lee in prison and they might try to attack her. However, the police in South Korea did a really good job of masking Moon's identity, and so to this day we believe she is still safe. And also, for clarity, Moon is actually not her real name. That is a pseudonym that we used to protect her identity as well. In the end, Lee was sentenced to life in prison for those 2 murders.
You fucking failure. Yeah, fuck you, bro. You fucking weirdo. Like,
Entire world is scared.
I don't get that, bro. I really don't. I don't get that.
I know, it's like, it's just a crazy story, so what can you do, though? What can you really do?
I feel like our generation is lost. I feel like our generation, and this is recent. We're lost. Yeah. We're lost.
Like, what can you do?
Our world is lost. Our world is lost.
Yeah.
Just forget about all the people he just killed. Y'all so worried about how he look. I'm sorry, but I'm not about to sit up here and say this on the channel. I would never say this. If I ever seen a chick that looked like a 10, that looked like Beyonce and all that, just killing people, and she hot as fuck, I'm not about to sit up here on the channel and say, damn, she looked good. No, like,
sure, it's like,
you can't use beauty to blind the fact that they're a fucking monster.
Again, I don't know what it is. It's just other people's, man.
So y'all so blind. Y'all are so blind that y'all just not going. We're lost. Our generation is lost. I don't got no hope.
Yeah, call it the Ted Bundy syndrome.
It's the Ted Bundy syndrome. We're lost, y'all. Our society is fucking lost. Our society is fucking lost. We can't even eat a hot dog without them calling it the gay word. We can't even eat a hot dog in peace now. I don't understand. Like, we can't even say certain things no more.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just speechless right now because
this society, y'all, they try to cancel Michael Myers.
Man,
they try to cancel Michael Myers. Think about that. Michael Myers? Y'all, Michael Myers. I'm pointing to the fucking Funko back here. Michael Myers. Michael Myers. We are so lost. You know what? We're done with this reaction. We're done. I don't even want to stay on this because it's making my head hurt even more.
Yeah, I know.
We're lost. We're lost. We're lost. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We see y'all next time.
See you next time.
Take us out, Lee. Take us out.